Jessica.
Hi, I'm Christeena.
And you're watching Game of Tomes. We're going to do a Top 5 Wednesday video, something we haven't done in a while.
We have not. If you want to join in on Top 5 Wednesday, we will leave the link to the Goodreads group down below.
Awesome. So this week is books you should read without the synopsis. So here are some books that we think you should go into without knowing much.
And for some different reasons for each
Different
one.
reasons, yeah.
Okay, so first book, I read it in 2016 when it came out, thanks to Amazon, and that is The Butterfly Garden by Dot Hutchinson. I found it on Amazon. They were like, hey, it's coming out in September. You want to read it? And I was like, yeah, okay. And I loved it. I ended up really loving it. I will say all you need to know is there's a little bit of some hard parts to get through, simply because it is kind of about a serial killer. Well, I mean, like, yeah, basically it is. So that's all I'm gonna say, but nothing gets graphic, but it was so good, and my mind was like, I was like, what?
Was there anything about the synopsis that made you go, oh, I wish I hadn't known that, or?
I really liked finding out what the Butterfly Garden was without reading that in the synopsis, and I think it's like more impactful if you don't know and you go into it blind and then you read about it and you're just like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's more of an impact that way.
Right on.
Yeah.
Okay, the rest of the books we have read together. I've not read Butterfly Garden, but we have read The Night Circus. I think this book is grossly mismarketed.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
People go into it expecting one thing, because that's what the synopsis says, and it ain't that. Okay?
No, and then they get really... The people that I've seen that really dislike this book is because of the synopsis.
Right. So what you should expect from this book, say you haven't read it, is a atmospheric, beautifully woven, intricate character beauty.
It's definitely
words.
Character driven.
Yes.
And it's so
slow. And
it's just so magical.
It is magical, but it ain't what the synopsis says.
No.
So if you don't already know, don't
do it.
Just watch it Just read it and find out for yourself.
Yeah,
what
I
it's
agree.
about.
Yeah. So another book that we love is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. And by the way, it's going to be a movie soon.
Yes.
Which we're super excited about.
Yes, we are. So if you're thinking about reading, oh my God, why do I keep saying that?
No.
So if you're thinking about reading Ready Player One because the movie's coming out, but you think 80s movies and
video games
is not my thing.
Yeah.
Hold the phone.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, give it a shot because it's more about the story and the action and the suspense and
the characters.
And it just transported me to another place.
Yeah.
And it was something that I will always cherish forever. And I feel like it is something that lots and lots of people will enjoy. Like, that's one book that I feel like everybody who reads it will love it, which I know is not true. I know there are people out there who don't like the book, but like, I don't understand that. And so if you've heard about what it's about and you're like, those aren't the things that I would like, it's not just that.
It's not just that. And I mean, like, the 80s, we were born in the 90s, okay? Yeah. So, like, you don't have to understand or get these things references to enjoy the book. Like, you really don't. It's a really beautiful story.
Ditto.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to number 3.
Okay.
Christeena's unhauled this book.
I used to have it.
Yeah, okay, so the synopsis makes you think that it's gonna be about one thing when it isn't. It makes it feel like it's gonna be this grand magical thing that has to do with... It doesn't matter. It's not about those things. So I think that's a really good book to go in blindly and not expect magic.
I don't think we even said the book.
Did we not? And the book I'm referring to is
I should have just let it go.
Okay, and that is The Miniaturist by Burton something. The Miniaturist by Jessie Burton. It's a good book to read in, say, January when it's snowing outside.
The atmosphere is really...
It takes place in Amsterdam in like the 1600s.
I think so.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And that part's really cool, but it ain't about magic and stuff.
That's one book that the synopsis kind of really misled us, and we would have enjoyed it more if we didn't read the synopsis.
Story time. As I was reading this book, I was going over to my mom's house a lot, and I would tell her about what the book was about, and I'm like, this book, it's just like nothing's happening. And I was telling her like the plot points, and she's like, man, that sounds really good. And I'd come over again, and she'd go, so what's happening in your book right now? Like, she was totally interested in what was happening, and I wasn't, because it wasn't what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just kind of...
Go into that blindly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It built it up to be something that it was hurt. Yeah.
And in the same note, we would say also go into the particular sadness of lemon cake without expecting
it to be about what it says it's about.
Well, I mean, it is, but they just make
it...
They make it seem like happier. But the word sadness is not in there by mistake. We heard about it and we're like, oh, that sounds really good. And then it ended up being kind of about coping with anxiety and depression, and she feels like she knows too much about her mom and what she's doing.
Kind of like a strained relationship with your family.
Yes, with her whole family.
Yeah,
really.
her whole family. We thought it was going to go in a completely different direction.
Yeah.
And I feel like we would have enjoyed it more if,
For sure.
we just didn't read the synopsis. So that was it for our Top 5 Wednesday of books to read without the synopsis. Let us know if you did a Top 5 Wednesday. We would love to watch it. And Jessica usually does this part.
When you play the game of tomes,
you read or you die.
Come be our friends. Social media links in the description below.
And we hope you're reading a great book. Bye.
Bye. And on the same note... Who cares?
Whatever. I feel really weird right now.